Last time on Out Chasing Stars, we completed the 12-day, 1,800 nautical mile passage from Cape Town to Saint Helena. For just the second time ever, we had family join us for a passage as Amy's Uncle Jim came aboard as a third crew member. It's a good thing he did too, as Amy fell ill out in the middle of the ocean. The high winds and big waves made it tough, but Amy eventually made a full recovery, just in time for our arrival into Jamestown. The water here is deep, so most boats pick up a mooring, and since it's very unprotected, we hopped on the local ferry to head ashore for our first Saint Helena adventure. We have arrived in Saint Helena. Pretty epic passage, to be honest. Lots going on, but we are here and we're wasting no time at all. What are we gonna go do today?
Well, we only have 2 more days with Uncle Jim, so we are going to go climb Jacob's Ladder, which is 699 steps, supposedly.
Might have to do one extra jump just to hit our even 700.
Yeah, but it's an amazing steep stairs and we should have a view down on all of Jamestown.
Gonna be a pretty good way to introduce Saint Helena, I think.
Yeah.
Jacob's Ladder dominates the landscape, but I'm not sure I'd have been so chipper if I'd realized just how steep a 39 to 41 degree incline really is. What do you think? You ready to go?
Yes. Jim has started without us.
Oh,
He's
no.
a third of the way up already.
Oh no!
Leaving us youngins behind.
Oh my goodness, well, let's get on going.
Stairs are not regulation.
What are you lazy bums doing?
Lazy bones, we're waiting for you.
We're breathing.
Jesus.
Oh, fine. I'm taking too long with the camera, huh?
It's all in good fun.
We're catching our breath.
Well,
Yes.
we're almost there, guys.
We gotta be like 3/4
Just
of the way
a
up.
little bit more to go.
How much?
Good job.
Good job.
Woo!
Where do I get my certificate?
Make it all the way to the top.
We made it.
Hey, well done.
Thanks.
Jim, nicely
Quite
done.
a climb.
Yeah.
Quite a climb.
Time to go find the view?
Oh yeah.
What is it we just learned right here, babe?
This was built in 1829 originally for
It's
Saint Helena Railway Company.
I can't believe railways. That's kind of crazy.
Oh, look at this. This is great. The most exciting place on earth. Better than Las Vegas. Better than...
Not exciting, it says extraordinary.
This sign behind me is teaching me that not only did Napoleon come here, we've also got Captain Cook, Charles Darwin, a few other important dignitaries. So, you know, we're the latest in a long line of important people. Saint Helena is where Napoleon was exiled to for the second time, and to be honest, with views like these, I think I'd be okay being stuck here. Find our girl out there?
I did. Lots of boats down there.
That's a pretty good view, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Can't believe that we're
Let's
just
launch that drone.
can't believe we're just like in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and there's like, I mean, what's the closest land that way? Brazil?
Well, Ascension technically, I'm sure, but
Well, I mean, of all the degrees, Ascension is a small degree somewhere out there.
have to be a very good navigator to hit it.
You'd have to be a good navigator to hit it.
Super helpful. It's always reassuring to see Starry Horizons safe and sound, especially when she's tied up to a mooring. But our joy at being at the top was tempered by one sobering fact. All right, babe, what do we always say?
What goes up must come down.
Made it all the way down?
We made it.
How your legs feeling?
They're gonna be sore tomorrow. My calves are tight.
I'm feeling a little jello-ish.
12 days on the boat, not much activity. Yeah.
Well, that's all right.
Such is
Kickstart activity again.
Such is the cruiser's life.
Getting our land legs back can take a while, so rather than punish ourselves some more, the next day we hired Robert to take us on a tour. And of course, no trip around Saint Helena would be complete without a visit to the most famous spot on the island. Find the tomb, babe?
We found the tomb, the first tomb of Napoleon.
Yeah, he's no longer there.
Nope.
Back in France.
But quite a lovely place to be resting eternally. I'm not
Yeah, what?
It's very beautiful. We have kind of an ambiance today because it's like misty and there's pines and moss and it's all like very gorgeous.
It is nice. Napoleon died in 1821 and remained here until 1840 when his body was exhumed and moved to France. Of course, this isn't the only Napoleon-related spot on the island. A visit to his Longwood house is also well worth it. Well, there's no filming allowed, but what did you think of Napoleon's house?
It's pretty neat. They've done a great job, like, I think, restoring and recreating what it was like when he lived there. And there was a lot of historic pieces of furniture. And then there's also a lot of artwork that was really interesting, like probably 50 pieces of artwork depicting the exhumation of Napoleon's body and moving it to France and stuff like that. And it's just really wild.
Kind of interesting to be like in the room where he died and lived and...
Yeah. And all his like, I just learning more about him, you know.
Yeah, very true. Well,
good history lesson.
One more good stop in Saint Helena and onwards we go.
Onwards.
It had been a busy morning with all the Napoleon hunting, but fortunately, Robert had a nice local suggestion for lunch.
We got Reggie's Takeaway for lunch up in Longwood.
The local takeaway, I love it.
Yeah, Dave is getting some chicken fillet and chips, and I'm having, what did I order? Pork sausage and chips? Yeah.
Better remember when it comes out.
Oh, I bet it's gonna be delicious.
Now that we were well fed, we were ready for the rest of the afternoon. Just the drive around the island was stunning. The interior was so green and lush, it felt like we could have been touring around the heart of Ireland. Robert regaled us with tales of donkeys and flax mills, which used to be the primary industry on the island. I found all that quite fascinating, but given my love of stars, there was another spot that was high on my must-visit list. What did we find all the way up here?
We are at Halley's Observatory, which is where Edmund Halley came in like 1677 and observed the stars of the southern sky and like plotted them out and stuff. So that's pretty neat.
That is really cool. It is not where he discovered the comet,
Yeah.
but still a pretty awesome kind of astronomical significance as well.
Yeah. So there's actually a little gazebo here, and we do have a nice panoramic view. I'm not sure which way Jamestown is, but the airport's over there, so maybe Jamestown's that way, I think.
Yeah, I think that-ish way.
Yeah, but it's very lovely.
Nice little cool hike.
Yeah, short.
To wrap up the day, Robert took us to the plantation house. That's where the governor of Saint Helena resides, but its most famous resident is someone just a bit older. Any sign of Jonathan up there?
No sign of Jonathan.
Man, what is with that guy?
They're just, the rest of the tortoises are very shy.
Aw, well, okay. Well, we
Either
saw...
that or, like, they're just a really slow stampede. They're like, oh, people are here to see us.
We gotta go say hello. 2 hours later, they'll be down here?
Exactly.
Got it. Well, not sure we're gonna spend that 2 hours. That looks like a tortoise behind you.
It is. There are apparently 5 giant tortoises that live here. And one of them is here behind us. Supposedly this one is Jonathan.
We think so.
We think. There's no
He might be David.
identifying marks.
Yeah, he could be a David.
But if so, Jonathan back here is the oldest land mammal known. He is
In the world.
In the world. He's 187 or something like that.
Yeah, dude's pushing it.
Yeah. So he's got a huge paddock. We don't see any other tortoises, so he's like all by himself here. Yeah, it's quite the lawn in the governor's mansion with your tortoises here.
Not a bad life for Jonathan out here.
Yeah.
Looks like a second one's making its appearance way out there. So who knows, that one could be Jonathan, that one could be David. We're still not 100% sure, but at least there's tortoises. Saying goodbye to Jonathan also meant saying goodbye to Uncle Jim, who had to fly out the next day. With his departure, we got a bit more in tune with our regular cruiser lifestyle. Oh my goodness, what is going on out here?
Doing my own laundry.
What?
Crazy.
This feels kind of weird. How long has it been since we've actually done laundry on the boat?
Well, all through South Africa, either it was really cheap and I could send it off, or we had a laundromat in the yacht squad, or at the marina.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to do laundry out on the lines at V&A, so...
Yeah, marinas don't like cruisers airing out all their dirty laundry. Shocker there.
I know.
So, yeah, it's the first time I've used my laundry machine in a while.
This kind of feels like we're back to the cruising lifestyle.
Yeah, we did send off, like, towels and sheets and stuff here, because that would be, like, 5 loads of laundry after having Jim and David in a separate bedroom. So, yeah, but I love my little laundry machine. It's so much faster than shipping it out, and it's easy. And
Just for the record, as Amy finishes putting out some laundry, I am going to help, but there was actually debate about having the washing machine on Starry Horizons when we were first outfitting, and I was the one who convinced Amy it would be a worthwhile accessory, and it definitely has been. Doing laundry is a never-ending process, but we're definitely glad when we can do it on the boat, especially when it helps us prepare for an activity like our next adventure.
we got exciting plans today. We are going looking for whale sharks again.
Yes, we have had 3 whale shark excursions so far, one of which was successful.
Yes, Australia, Maldives, and Madagascar. And so now we're doing our 4th one here in Saint Helena. And this is supposed to be a pretty great place to spot them. There have been some like in the mooring field here, never at an opportune time for us to see them, but other people have swam with them here in the mooring field.
Yeah, so we're looking to up that average. Not great so far. Hitting 500 would be a much better statement.
Yes, exactly.
The first step of our whale shark swim?
Catching the ferry service.
Ah, the ferry service, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot easier than catching the dinghy ashore. The ferry took us to the dive boat, and the dive boat took us to, you guessed it, the whale shark. It's hard to convey just how magical of a moment this was for us. We absolutely love whale sharks, and to get this up close and personal with one was a highlight of our entire sailing adventures. We have pretty much wrapped up all the fun stuff we wanted to do on Saint Helena, so that means it's project time. And I'm going to apologize in advance because I really dislike filming the actual doing of projects because it just takes so much longer to actually do the projects, and I just want to get them done. So you're going to have to just, live with me talking about what we did, and I'll try to show you some B-roll of exactly what the results were, or some of what I did as well. So, first big project was, admittedly, this was my mistake. In Cape Town, I looked at the wrong electrical table chart for the wiring size for the hydro generator. Wire size was too small, which contributed to some of our problems as we were crossing when it was trying to recognize it was going into absorption mode when it shouldn't have been. It had to do with the resistance of the wire, so I needed to upgrade the wire. Not a lot of options here in Saint Helena, but what I was able to do was repurpose some wire that we had previously used. We had installed an automatic charge relay for our generator battery. It was located all the way in the port engine compartment because that's where the batteries used to be. So I was able to kind of relocate that up into the battery compartment in the salon and reuse some of that 4 AWG 4-gauge cable and rewire in the hydro generator. So that's all done. The hydro generator should hopefully be good now for our next set of passages. We're going to test it, keep an eye on it, see how it goes. The other couple things we've been working on, the water maker has been having a little bit of trouble recently with air getting into the system and it not priming super well with the lift pump. So I took all that apart. There was some crap that was in the pump, so I had to replace the pump, rebuild kind of the head portion, all the pistons and stuff like that from the pump. Plus there's a check valve part of the system, and that had a little piece of debris in it, so I cleared all that up. That seems to be working better now, so that's good news. Now, oh yes, as part of the hydro generator wiring, we discovered that the start battery for the generator was actually dead. So the automatic charge relay was kind of the thing that was keeping it topped up with enough charge that it could actually start the generator when it needed to. But without that ACR relay going, it wasn't working for the generator battery. So we found a new battery here in Saint Helena. That's now installed. So that's done. Now we're getting ready for a couple extra 1,000+ mile passages, which means needed more fuel. We did fill up completely with fuel when we were in Cape Town, so we had our fuel bladder. And I have another embarrassing thing to admit. You know, we have our fuel polisher that's located in the port engine room. I've been just kind of using a gravity feed method for that fuel bladder to be pumping the fuel into the tank. Came up and thought, it's only been 5.5 years since we've had the boat. What if I were to plumb the fuel bladder into the fuel polisher and use that pump to suck the fuel out? Shockingly, it seems to be working pretty well. So, fueling is in reprocess as we speak. The refueling is done, and that worked actually a lot better than I was expecting. Didn't leave a huge mess. It was nice to have the fuel polished as it was going into the tank, so that's all good. And that was kind of the last big checklist project before we were ready to leave Saint Helena. Just a couple of small things to do, but feeling pretty good. And one thing I did forget to mention, and this was a pretty big one, was the gooseneck rivets that were popping out as we were sailing up here to Saint Helena. Talking with a couple other cruisers about our passages, we mentioned this, and that whole cruiser's credo of looking out for others just really helped us out this time. Another boat was like, hey, we've got a rivet gun and rivets the size that you're gonna need. Why don't we come on over? They helped me kind of get the gooseneck back in alignment, pop the rivets in. So it's all good. Ready to sail the rest of the Atlantic. Feeling really good about that. And yeah, I think that means we're pretty much ready to set sail for Brazil.
Saint Helena turned out to be an incredible stop, but as always, the ocean was calling, and we had some pretty amazing adventures awaiting us in Brazil.
Hey y'all, thanks for watching our video on Saint Helena in the South Atlantic. It was such a unique stop for us, and it was really interesting to learn a lot about the history and everything that Saint Helena has to offer. And as you can see, it is a stunning place. Never mind the whale sharks, because that was awesome. Big thanks to Uncle Jim for exploring a little bit with us, and thank you very much to the people of Saint Helena for being such a welcoming place. Alright, our next video, we're going to be sailing up to Brazil. See you then.